So, hi everyone. Today, Red-DOLPHIN Distribution is starting a new initiative. Our passion since 2013 is to discover new, fascinating products. No, better than that, mind-blowing innovations, amazing designs. And, and in fact, I thought we should give the opportunity to the brands themselves, the brands we distribute in Switzerland, to convey their message and vision directly to you, our customers. So for this exact reason, I'm excited to have with us today Patrich Sherwin, founder and CEO with GOSUN. Patrich, you are based in the US.
Yep. Thanks, Laurent.
Big thank you, Patrich, for taking some time to join us today.
Likewise, it's a pleasure. This is fun. And our intention is just to share more about the inside scoop of how and why we make these products and where and when they fit. And we know there's plenty of sun out there in Switzerland, and plenty of wonderful food. So let's get cooking.
Hey. So yeah, our discussion today, it's a discussion. It's really a informal format. Is about giving our customers, really geeks, fan of innovation and green tech, a chance to hear from you almost. Yeah, directly. So, of course, we are showing your products online on our web shop with our partners. But what best to hear from the guy who started the GOSUN project? Patrich, can you tell us to begin with what GOSUN is about? What are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, we're bringing portable power to people, and we really fuel the off-grid, and we consider off-grid living as something that can begin as soon as you leave the house. So you could be in your backyard having a barbecue. This can happen when you extend out into the trail, the campsite, when you go to the beach. We want to be sure that you're carrying some comforts and have the ability to power what you need without carrying the old conventional heavy dirty fuels. So we do this without burning anything, without having to resupply, and in fact, because the products we build are so efficient, they're actually better than the old traditional style. So life becomes more liberated when you're able to live on solar, and you don't have to compromise convenience or performance when you use GOSUN appliances.
Okay, so we will need to educate and make sure we share more about what you're doing. Myself, I discovered GOSUN it was a coincidence in 2016. So please excuse me, Patrich. I missed what GOSUN had been doing 3 years before, because I think you created the company in 2013.
Yeah, we originally launched on a crowdfunding website called Kickstarter, where the original solar stove went out. Myself, I have a background in solar, like mostly on like design and installation of photovoltaics, and I did a fair amount with solar heating. And a lot of it, what I did was off-grid. So I lived off-grid for years down in the Caribbean oceans. So I wanted to take solar and bring it like onto more of a personal level. Instead of putting panels up on rooftops, I wanted to make sure that the power of the sun could be in your fingertips. And the original solar stove that we launched came from a water heating system that was on a rooftop. And a customer told me to to take it off the roof and throw it away. And I took it home and started tinkering with this evacuated tube thermal system, and I discovered I had some sausage, and I put them inside the tube, and they sizzled on their way down into the tube. And I thought, wow, what an incredible heating device. If I could figure out how to get this sausage out of here, I could have a great lunch. And I kind of, as a tinkerer, as what we call an ad hoc inventor, I just kept playing with this evacuated tube and kind of made it shorter, put it on its side, arranged some reflectors that protected it, as well as increased the intensity of sunlight, and came up with an incredible solar oven that that we launched on Kickstarter, and it just sort of took off. And overnight, I had a business, and I was pouring 80 hours a week into it to try to really jump on that rocket ship ride. And it turned out that the oven that we created is really probably one of the best solar ovens ever made. Solar ovens in the past have been a little bulky. Some of them are slow, and GOSUN is compact, portable, very fast. It'll work in freezing cold. It'll work through some clouds. I've even worked while it's snowing and raining. So I imagine you've cooked on it, Laurent. What do you think?
Yeah, whatever product gets or is at the door of being selected by RED-DOLPHIN for distribution in the Swiss market, we put our hands, more than our hands, on those products. So I've been using your first product, the Sport, the GOSUN Sport. And by the way, this product that was one of your first designs is so good still today that it is still selling as it was designed. So it's still one of the top sellers because one of the best performing solar oven in the market.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we find as well. The Sport is like a sports car. It's very fast. It's sleek. It only handles about 2 meals at a time, but you can get that meal cooked in 20 minutes with nothing but sunlight. So it's very single purpose and very good at that target. It folds up and weighs about 3 kilograms. And it's about 60 centimeters long, and you could take it anywhere. I mean, you don't want to take this product on a backpacking trip probably, but just about anything else. Like, we have it designed for living on a boat. We've developed a clamping system so you can put it on the rail. I've taken them through the airport, no problem. I did a thing a few years ago when I turned 40 years old. I decided I wanted to cook on our technology exclusively for 40 straight days of sunshine. And it was just something I wanted to do for myself. And I videotaped it using my phone, kind of each day, each meal. And I was 100% reliant on solar cooked food. I wasn't eating anything else other than coffee or beer. The Sport was like my go-to on every meal, every day. I left the Sport out through a rainstorm that lasted 28 hours. I had 7 eggs inside their shell, and somehow miraculously those eggs got cooked in a rainstorm that lasted all day. So I don't know how these evacuated tube solar ovens do work so well. I've got one I want to show your audience. I've got one of the original tubes here that shows the coatings on this product. So the first coating is a copper and a stainless steel and this dark aluminum nitrile. That stuff is on the outside of the inner layer of glass. So there's 2 layers of glass, and then there's a vacuum that's between them. It's like a thermos. So the vacuum creates a perfect insulator. The exterior layer of glass is clear, so the light comes through. Comes through, and it'll first hit the blue layer, so it's absorbed. Next, it'll get transferred through the stainless steel layer, and finally, the most conductive layer being copper, it pulls that heat towards the center of the oven, and then the copper has the anti-reflective layer, so that infrared energy is sort of bounced around in here, and it cannot then escape again. And so you can have 300 degrees Celsius inside, and it's still room temperature on the outside. So that's really the secret behind our cooking technology.
Hey, great! We got the mystery and the secret of the technology explained by the master. But let me say something. I believe your success, you always say it takes two to tango, and it's in my belief, and tell me what you think. There are two major aspects in GOSUN's success. It's first what you just explained, the technology, and what you have figured out, how you have tuned and improved, and then managed to make something out of it. Because technology is not just here for the sake of technology, but there is a purpose, and you control that, and you integrated this great technology to make great products. But the second aspect of the GOSUN success I see today is your community of users.
Yes, definitely.
And tell us about that, because when I visit your Facebook community pages, I see people using GOSUN products becoming your best ambassadors. And do you have stories to share with us about what the people around the globe are doing?
Absolutely, yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, we're a crowd-funded company from day one. So, we didn't, spend tons and tons of money and time building these products, going to a bank to ask for money, going to stores to see if they would buy them at wholesale. We went straight to the customer with our first prototype, or not our first prototype, but our early prototype. It was probably actually like my 40th prototype, but I made a commercial about it, basically using my iPhone, put it up on the internet on Kickstarter.com, and people responded. And that's been our business model ever since. Take an idea, put a bunch of time and energy into it, refine it, and then, highlight the best features and benefits that you can find, create an offering, price it right, try to give people the most affordable access to the product, and then let's see what they like, dislike, ask for feedback, and again, the refinement cycle happens again and again. So our second year, we started a Facebook community kitchen, and that was shocking to see. Just overnight, like 500 people entered this community group, and they're already talking about the way they use their product, and more importantly, the ways they've adapted, recipes or appliances or utensils to fit or work around our solar cooking. And so we've gained a lot of insight from our customer base. And some of these customers we have had the opportunity of meeting in person. There was a man who unfortunately passed away, named Terry Irvine, lived in Tennessee, and he was posting every single day in his retirement. He was using our product every single day and cooking incredible, elaborate meals. And we had a solar cook-off where we invited a bunch of some of the highest chefs in town here. We're in Southern Ohio. One of our chefs is like Michelin. He's actually French, and he, 5-star restaurants throughout town. He came out to be one of the judges, and Terry Irvine came in to be one of the judges. And so here is a man who's never cooked with the sun, but he's a 5-star chef. Myself, and then another man who cooks with the sun every day and knows nothing about cuisine outside of what he's self-taught. And we're judging these. There was like 8 contestants who entered into the contest. It was really interesting to see the way people interpreted the meals, and to learn from the master of cuisine and the master of solar cooking, and see where that common ground was. It's an exciting new frontier. Solar cooking in itself is very, very early in humanity's progression here. And based on these vacuum tube ovens, there is very little limitation into the space. Some of the early limitations were, what do you do at night? What do you do when it's raining? Well, we solved that one too with the product that's on your background there. Yeah, the GOSUN Fusion. That has an electric heating element built into it that you can turn on if you don't have sunlight, or if you're cooking indoors or at night. The way that product is designed to be used is with the sun, just like we talked about the other ones. And then, if the sun, if you started cooking too late and the sun goes down, or if it gets blocked by a big heavy cloud and you want to accelerate the meal, you plug it into a 12-volt power socket. That 12-volt can come from the power bank that's shown on the table, or any of the GOSUN power banks. And it's just that standard car socket, which is something that every boat, car, truck, or RV in the world has built in.
And I can share a story. Coming to my mind, I'm thinking about two examples of users in our community in Switzerland. There is a couple who used to be living in Switzerland, and they left the country to navigate on the oceans around the globe, and they took their sport on the boat.
Cool.
And they are posting on Instagram pictures from time to time, of course, from places I will never get the chance to visit. But they are enjoying life and being able to cook on the boat while sailing with their sport solar oven. And the second one, I met a few months ago, a lady. She lives in Geneva, and whatever new GOSUN product you release, she needs to have. So I delivered to her personally the Fusion a few months ago, and very soon she'll get the solar table that we see in my background, and the chill. I was about to say the portable. No, it's not portable. You can roll it. Huh? You can fridge. But I think you must have dozens of user examples. Maybe the last or the most recent. It's not a good story, but is it in Texas? You had some weather, extreme bad flooding conditions, and I believe this kind of scenario and things make people realize that there are ways to become less dependent on electricity, because when there are ways to be off-grid and still cook meals, have warm water or clean water, and you must have examples around this and what happened there, and that could happen anywhere else, in fact.
Yeah, I think that's the part that I'm most excited about, and is that we're going to see more insecurity as things go on, and I think resilience is really what I want the brand to represent and to solve. Resilience is, to me, more important than sustainability. I mean, sustainability is difficult to find, to say the least. And yet, resilience means we need to be able to come up with a way to maintain some version of our culture and our quality of life through a set of ever-changing circumstances. And you're absolutely right about the electrical grid. It seems no matter where you are, the grid is outdated. I think in our lifetime, we'll probably find the grid to become obsolete. And that is because of solar technology and battery storage. And so we're kind of the beginning of that trend of moving off grid. And you don't have to buy a $50,000 solar rooftop. You can start out with a small solar oven for $500. And you can then pair that to a folding solar panel and one of these batteries that we were just talking about. And now you have your own little solar power plant. Make your own power. It's very liberating, and it does bring a sense of calm. It will help you and your family stay connected, some light, some communications. We just launched a product that it's a water purification and sanitation system. We're working on all kinds of additional DC powered appliances, unique lights and charging appliances, solar generators. So, and everything we're doing is portable. So you don't just sit at home and wait for the power to go out to use them like a typical gas powered generator. You take them with you when you go out, when you go camping, even when you're traveling road trip. And so, I think it's rare to find an investment or a product that you're purchasing that does those two things, that it fuels your fun. So you're cooking a meal on the mountaintop where otherwise you'd have to, have a stale sandwich.
Plus, sorry to interrupt, but plus, there are a lot of places where you are not allowed, and you should not be allowed to fire any barbecue or anything.
Yeah, right. For a variety of reasons, whether that's forest fires or emissions, and because you're close to a town, you don't want the dirty smoke throughout the town. Yeah. And the other point was, you're having fun with your purchase, and you're helping to secure, you're building resilience. So, and again, we found that during the coronavirus, those two trends were really driving a lot of business in our direction, and that was a big reason why we built the sink. We called it the GOSUN Flow. We want to make sure our products are encompassing all of your essential needs. So cooking day and night, indoors and out, cooling, like you said, on the chill, which is a portable refrigerator that we can run on the sun. So you can make ice. You don't have to deal with ice inside your cooler, so it's not pulverizing your food and taking up all kinds of space. You can stay dry and organized. And then water. Water is so critical. We all know that. And we heard from so many of the partners that we fuel during crisis, like the American Red Cross, that they need water almost more than anything. and you got to send in bottled water, and that does not do the job. It's so logistically challenging. So to be able to make water from any freshwater source right there on the spot, and keep people hydrated, and then we turn that water purification system into a sink, so you can wash up, and you can even take a shower with that. So anyway, that's kind of how we approach things, is to look at the need, what really has to happen here, and how can we do this the most efficient way, and try to build a solar appliance around that need.
Mm-hmm. With your brand and your products, and I see the path of innovation and the rhythm at which you think and release new devices accelerating, because from the sport, and then you had the grill, which in my mind was the Rolls-Royce of solar ovens, and then after that you managed to even further improve with the fusion. So I think you keep moving. In fact, you even accelerate your innovations, and when originally people could have thought, yeah, those products are niche gadgets somehow. Actually, you now fit into two categories distributed by RED-DOLPHIN, and I don't know. I don't want to have you featured in one only, so I'm featuring you in two. You are in our green tech portfolio of solutions, and you are in our food tech portfolio of, and you have your full legitimacy to be in both those portfolios.
Yeah, well, thanks. That's sort of the story of my life, the way my brain works. And a lot of the people here at GOSUN, we are always looking for opportunities, and you can always find opportunities to improve. And so it's a never ending, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? And we have this giant list of product development ideas, most of which are invention oriented. They don't exist in the market. And we're constantly looking at that list and refining it and trying to find the product that that keeps coming up to the top, that is needed, there's a large market for, that doesn't require huge amounts of investment with respect to research and development, engineering, tooling cost, that we're able to build affordably, that we're able to ship in a box. And so one of my designers had an idea. I don't know if you have a set of these yet, Laurent.
No,
we've got to get you a set. Yeah.
I know what you're going to show. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly open this up. He had this idea because he was getting a carry-out lunch from a salad bar, and he was eating with the plastic utensils that you're going to take a few bites and then throw them away.
Yeah.
We're very wasteful, and so he had the idea. Well, I have my wallet on me at all times, so I can create a tiny set of utensils that I'll fit in my wallet. So he's got a fork and a spoon and a knife, all built in this little. It's almost like a little Swiss Army set of utensils here, and
Absolutely.
And then they can go away dirty, and you can wash them later because they'll stay sealed in that case. So my lead designer brought this idea, and he was about to do it on his own on Kickstarter. And I said, hey, we'll license that idea from you, and we'll help you launch that, And so we put about 6 months of work into that idea, and we've sold 40,000 sets of them in the last year. And it's bringing in a whole new audience to GOSUN. About 13,000 new customers, and a lot of them are young and they just like you and I, they want to see a bright future where we're not ruining our oceans and we're living more akin to solar powered future, and we're not putting too much in the atmosphere. So it's very exciting that now we have a big young crowd that's really helping to drive our innovations as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you have been demonstrating yourselves. You could live for you said 30 days, 40 days just cooking solar in the past. Are you going to replicate or to do it again with your tiny house and make a video every day from you of yourself living in your new project, the tiny house? Tell us a bit about this one and what it is, and what your vision or dream is about.
Yeah, for the GOSUN dream, it's our solar off-grid tiny house, and it's built to kind of make its own power and water, and then manage its own waste. So you can put it, just about anywhere, and it can live autonomously. And so it's a little space where you have enough to sleep for 4 people. You've got a full bathroom, a nice big kitchen, and then we really embellished on outdoor living that's right outside of the product. So it's got a solar kitchen and a nice patio with a big awning that comes out over. And again, we're trying to find that place. With everything that we do, we try to find this trifecta where things are high performing, high quality, and affordable. And then you can never get all 3 at once. And we know this from every one of our purchases. Try to find a bicycle or something that's all 3 of those, and you can definitely find high performing and high quality, but it's not going to be cheap. So we try to find that balance. And we found in the tiny house space, which is really growing a lot here in North America, they're not very efficient. Tiny houses are very cute, but they're not well built. So it's you're burning tons and tons of fuel to stay warm in the winter, and then burning air conditioning in the summer. And so we saw this opportunity. We built a very efficient prototype. The prototype is now here at GOSUN's headquarters, and we are refining and testing just like we do with all of our products. I'm not living in it, but funny enough, we just moved my father-in-law into the tiny house. He needed a place, and he's going to be our first long-term tenant. He's in there for the summer and until he buys a new home. So he is becoming we've done a ton of testing and refinement, and I've stayed in there, and we've had people stay, but now we have a proper long-term tenant to really see the ebbs and flows of the system. A lot of unique systems there. We have a lot of monitoring capabilities, so we can see what's happening with the energy, the water, the waste. It's got a really nice French composting toilet by Separate, and then we're getting a lot of feedback, obviously, from him with respect to how he likes it. But for myself, as far as the next adventure you had asked about, I'm thinking I want to do something a little bit more bold and extreme, almost more survival oriented. Take about 3 of our products and nothing else, and go and see if I can't live in the remote wilderness for a few weeks just on a few GOSUN products.
The more you speak like this, you make me think of someone who is very famous. I was about to say in Switzerland. No, this person gets known well outside the borders of Switzerland. Do you know Mike Horn?
Yeah, I do. We actually sent him a product. Oh, he's incredible. He is so strong. we sent him a product while he was in South Africa just before a pole-to-pole expedition where he was heading to the South Pole to cross it with a kite. He was kite skiing across the South Pole. And we sent him a product to his ice-breaking sailboat about 4 years ago. And he gave a little review and used it and was very impressed. He, of course, didn't take it on his solo mission across the South Pole, but absolutely.
Yeah. So you make me think of this guy by taking 3 products and trying to prove you can survive with limited equipment in a survival mode.
Oh man, Mike Horn is easily one of the strongest human beings on the planet. I don't know how he does what he does. Yeah, it's incredible. I thought you were going to mention another man who I believe is Swiss. I'll have to look him up. I don't know his name, but he started a fantastic nonprofit that is evaluating products and services to be sure that they are climate appropriate. I think I'll be able to look him up while we're talking and see if you're familiar.
We'll put references in the blog and link to that. But yeah, for me, you, Patrick, you are a bit like putting together Mike Horn and MacGyver together.
Nice.
And GOSUN is the result.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you. That's flattering. I'm trying to think of a couple other crazy inventor types that I want to emulate. But ultimately, I do get out and use our product and try to live with it as much as I possibly can. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from. I tried to live off grid in the Caribbean for years, and I got to understand the complexities and difficulties there. And that's still with me heavily as I innovate. I'm working to outfit right now a Mercedes Sprinter van that I will use as like an RV. But I want to use it also to help move. Like we just moved my father-in-law with this van, and I want the van to be multi-purpose. So kind of like a Swiss Army knife. I want to flip it this way, and it's an open cargo van. Flip it that way, and now I've got a bunch of electric motorcycles inside, and we're going on an adventure. Flip it this way, and it's an RV. Then go on a long river trip and carry 6 passengers. All this stuff, and I don't want it to be just single use. And so again, I'm plagued by ideas, opportunities, doing things in a different way, and I'm constantly tinkering along that path.
Yeah, so I hope we'll be seeing you one day or another on the roads in Switzerland with your transformer RV of survival multi-purpose. And but I think it's been a great opportunity today to have you sharing your passion and your enthusiasm, your vision around solar, like starting small with an idea and then becoming a company with having crazy ideas and bringing them to life. So that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a real pleasure, and we're really happy to be working with you and RED-DOLPHIN. Your business is just top notch. You've always been very good to work with. I know we have a lot of complications, logistics to try to get product around the world, and you've always been very understanding and very professional. And so I really I really, it's people like you that are making it possible for us to keep innovating. So good work, Laurent. Let's keep doing this. Let's do this for as long as we can. We need it.
Great. Thanks for the nice words, Patrick. And we're gonna close this first edition of our Let's Talk About You with Patrich Sherwin from GOSUN. Thank you so much for taking the time. And this video will be posted on YouTube and our blog, so people can still, maybe when they get to see it, ask questions, and we'll be following up. And if there are some, as always, good feedback coming from the community, we'll be sharing those with you.
Great. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Laurent.
Thanks.